Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Fluento, Everyday English for Real Life, the podcast where we slow down, breathe a little, smile a little, and help you feel more confident using English in your everyday conversations. I'm Anna, and I'm here with the wonderful, very bright-eyed, very awake David.
Bright-eyed? Really? That's not what I saw in the mirror this morning. I looked like someone who definitely needed more sleep, but I'll happily accept your compliment. Hi, everyone. It's great to be here with you again.
You know, even if you're tired, you always bring this warm energy into the studio. I think the listeners can feel that.
That's very kind. Maybe my energy comes from excitement. I love doing this show with you, and today's topic is one that touches all of us, everywhere, in every language.
Exactly. Today, we're talking about health, not in a scary or technical way, but in the simple, everyday way that regular people experience it. Doctors, exercise, food, habits, and also how we feel about health, because emotions and mindset play a big part too.
And we'll talk like real humans, because that's how people learn languages best, not through memorizing lists, but by listening to stories, examples, mistakes, jokes, and real conversations. If you're listening right now, take a breath. You're not studying English, you're just spending time with us.
I love that. And maybe you're walking or cooking or relaxing on the couch. Whatever you're doing, we're so happy you're joining us.
Speaking of breath, and speaking of tired faces, maybe we should begin with something very basic, going to the doctor. Because the way we talk about health often starts with, I feel, and then we describe what's wrong.
Yes, and I feel is such a useful phrase for beginners. It can lead to I feel tired, I feel sick, I feel stressed, I feel good, I feel strong. Saying I feel is a safe way to communicate, even if you don't know the exact medical word.
Like, I still remember one of my first trips to a doctor in another country. My language skills were not great. I couldn't say infection or inflammation, those big words. I just said, I feel hot here, and I pointed to my throat, and the doctor understood perfectly.
Yes, that's such an important lesson. You don't need perfect vocabulary. You need communication. You need courage. And sometimes you need gestures.
Absolutely. So, Anna, let's begin with something simple. Do you like going to the doctor?
Like is a strong word. I don't think anyone likes it, but I'm not afraid of it. When I was younger, I was a little scared. The cold rooms, the bright lights, the smell, that hospital smell?
Oh, yes. It's like a mix of disinfectant and plastic.
Exactly. But as an adult, I think of the doctor as someone who helps me get back to normal, back to feeling like myself. So now I feel grateful, not scared.
I'm similar. For me, going to the doctor is like checking in with someone who knows more than I do. And when I leave, even if I'm still sick, I feel calmer, like someone smarter has looked at the problem.
And calm is part of health too. Actually, that reminds me, one of the most common phrases beginners use is I have. So instead of saying I have a headache, some learners say my head is pain, which is understandable but not natural.
Exactly. So let's slow down for a second and make this super clear in a gentle way. If your head hurts, you say, I have a headache. If your stomach hurts, you say, I have a stomach ache. And if your muscles hurt after exercising, you say, I'm sore, or my legs are sore.
Yes, sore is a great word. S-O-R-E. It means a good kind of pain after exercise or a small pain from using a muscle too much.
Let me tell you a quick story about being sore. Last year I joined this workout group, and the instructor, a very cheerful, very energetic woman, she said, "Don't worry, this class is easy." Oh, Anna, it was not easy.
I can already imagine.
The next day, I couldn't walk. I was going down the stairs sideways like a crab. I literally said out loud, "Why did I do this to myself?" And my friend asked, "Are you okay?" And all I could say was, "My legs are very sore."
That's such a relatable feeling. And this is another important expression, I'm sore. It's different from I'm injured. Soreness is normal. Injury is serious.
Right, and while we're on this topic, it's interesting how people in different cultures talk about pain. In some cultures, people describe pain very dramatically. In others, people pretend everything is fine even when it isn't.
So true. In my culture, people often minimize pain. They'll say, oh, it's nothing, even when they feel really terrible. But in other cultures, people are more expressive. They'll say, I'm dying, when they have a cold.
I know exactly what you mean, and it's important for learners to notice these differences, because language isn't only vocabulary, it's culture, tone, emotion, habits. If someone says, "I'm dying," they probably mean, "I feel very sick," not an emergency.
Yes, and speaking of colds, how about we talk about common symptoms? Things people can say at a doctor's office.
Perfect. So, Anna, when you have a cold, what do you usually say?
I usually say, I have a cold, or I feel congested. Congested means your nose is blocked. But for beginners, you can simply say, I can't breathe well through my nose.
That's a great example. And if you have a fever, meaning your body temperature is high, you can say, "I have a fever." Simple and clear.
Do you remember your worst cold ever? Everyone has one.
Oh, yes. It was when I had just moved to a new city. I didn't know any doctors. I didn't have a pharmacy nearby, and I didn't know the local language well. I felt terrible. My nose was red like a cartoon character. My voice sounded like I had a frog living in my throat. I went to the doctor and I tried to explain I feel very sick, but I accidentally used the wrong word and said something like, "I feel very unusual." The doctor looked at me like, "What does that mean?"
That's adorable. And a good lesson. Even if you say something a little strange, the doctor will usually understand from your face, your voice, your body language.
Exactly. The doctor ended up being very kind. He checked my eyes and ears and said, "You need rest, water, and sleep." And honestly, that helped more than any medicine.
It always does. Water and sleep are like magic. And that brings us to something important. Health isn't only about doctors. It's also about everyday habits.
Yes. Exercise, food, movement, sleep, stress, sunlight, all of that.
Let's talk about exercise. And I know you have strong feelings about this topic.
I do because I wasn't always someone who enjoyed exercise. When I was younger, I thought exercising meant going to the gym, lifting heavy weights, running until I couldn't breathe. But now as an adult, I've realized something much simpler. Exercise just means moving your body in a way that makes you feel alive.
That's beautiful and so true. People think exercise means suffering, but it can be something joyful, gentle, even fun. Walking, dancing, stretching, gardening, playing with your kids.
I love walking. It's my favorite. There's something very meditative about it. And speaking of walking, there's a phrase I hear a lot from English learners. I make a walk. But in English we say, I go for a walk.
Yes, go for a walk, not make. Another one is I do sport, which is understandable but unnatural. We usually say I play a sport or I exercise.
Exactly. So Anna, what kind of exercise do you enjoy?
I enjoy yoga, not the very advanced kind where people look like pretzels, Just simple yoga, slow stretching, breathing, calming my mind. It's not about burning calories, it's about feeling grounded.
Grounded. That's a nice word. It means calm, stable, connected to yourself.
Yes, and it reminds me of something cultural. In many Western countries, exercise is connected to appearance, looking thin, looking fit. But in other cultures, exercise is about community, dancing together, walking together, playing sports together.
Absolutely. I once lived in a place where all the older people gathered at 6 a.m. in the park and did group exercises, music playing, everyone smiling. It was beautiful.
That sounds amazing. And it shows that exercise doesn't need to be lonely or difficult. It can be social.
And fun. Speaking of fun, Anna, please tell me you've tried a dance class at least once.
Oh no. Are we talking about that memory?
Yes, we are. I've heard there's a story.
Fine. I tried a Zumba class once. Everyone was coordinated, moving perfectly, smiling like they were in a music video. And then there was me, 2 seconds behind every move, desperately trying to copy the instructor.
Oh no.
At one point, I turned left while everyone else turned right. The woman next to me laughed kindly and said, "Just have fun." And I realized my goal wasn't to be perfect, it was to enjoy myself. So I relaxed, and honestly, I had the best time.
See? That's such a powerful lesson. Perfection isn't required. Not in exercise, not in language learning, not in life.
Exactly. And speaking of language learning, there are great phrases connected to exercise, like work out, which means to exercise. Beginners often say, I make exercise, but in English, we say, I work out or I exercise.
And cool down, which means to relax at the end of exercise. And warm up, which means to prepare at the beginning.
You know, this conversation makes me think about another side of health, food, because we can't talk about exercise without thinking about what we eat.
Oh, yes. Food is one of my favorite topics, especially healthy food that actually tastes good. So, Anna, what's your favorite healthy food?
I love fruit, especially berries. Strawberries, blueberries, raspberries. They feel like little gifts from nature.
And they're perfect for language learning because the words are similar, but not the same. Blueberries are blue. Strawberries are not straw. Raspberries have a silent P. English is fun like that.
Yes, and vegetables are another big part of health. But many people say, I don't like vegetables. And my response is always, you don't like the vegetables you've tried so far, because there are so many.
Exactly, and preparation matters. Steamed broccoli tastes different from roasted broccoli. Raw carrots taste different from cooked carrots.
Speaking of broccoli, David, do you like it?
I do now. I didn't when I was a kid. My mother used to call them little trees, which was cute, but still didn't make me eat them. Then, as an adult, I learned to cook them with garlic and lemon, and suddenly I loved them.
Garlic fixes everything.
Yes, except your breath.
That's true. But garlic is good for your heart.
It is. And that reminds me of something listeners might want to practice. When talking about food in English, you can say, it's good for your heart. It's good for your skin. It's good for your brain. It's good for your energy.
Yes. And a very useful phrase, balanced diet. It means a diet with a mix of everything. Protein, vegetables, fruit, healthy fats, grains, not too much of one thing.
And balance also means, yes, we can enjoy cake sometimes.
Absolutely. Life without dessert is a little sad.
And this connects beautifully to something I think about often. People sometimes feel guilty about food, But food should bring joy, comfort, connection. A meal with family is not just calories, it's love.
That is beautifully said. And you know what? Health is also emotional. Feeling supported, feeling seen, feeling connected.
Yes, loneliness is a health issue. Stress is a health issue. Being busy all the time is a health issue.
And this is something English learners need especially. Emotional vocabulary. Words like stressed, overwhelmed, anxious, calm, peaceful, relieved. These are words we use in real life constantly.
Exactly. And when you're learning English, being able to describe how you feel helps you connect with others. It helps you get help. It helps you build relationships.
You know what this reminds me of? A student I once taught who always said, "I'm fine, no matter what." One day I asked, "Are you really fine?" She paused and said, "Actually, I'm tired." And we had such a deep, honest conversation. A simple word opened the door.
That's beautiful. And it shows how language is emotional. When you say, "I'm tired," you're not only describing your body, you're telling someone, "I need kindness right now."
Yes, and kindness is healthy. Being gentle with yourself is healthy. Health is not just, did you go to the gym? Health is, how are you caring for yourself today?
Exactly. And sometimes caring for yourself means choosing a salad. Sometimes it means choosing ice cream with a friend. Both are healthy in different ways.
So beautifully said.
Thank you. And maybe this is a good moment to talk about rest. Because we live in a world where people feel guilty for resting. But rest is not laziness. Rest is fuel.
I love that. Rest is fuel. Like plugging in your phone. You wouldn't get angry at your phone for needing to charge. Why do we get angry at ourselves?
Exactly. And sleep, oh my goodness, sleep is magical. I love when English learners discover the word nap. A nap is a short sleep.
Yes, I took a nap, not I made a nap. And naps are powerful. Even 20 minutes can change your day.
There's also the phrase, "I slept in," which means you stayed in bed longer than usual. And "I'm sleep-deprived," which means you haven't slept enough.
You know what's funny? When people say, "I'll sleep when I'm dead," that's such an American expression. And it's terrible advice. Nobody should follow it.
Terrible. Your body needs sleep to heal, to focus, to remember, to feel happy.
Actually, this brings me to a story from my childhood. When I was little, my grandmother always said, "If you're sick, sleep. If you're sad, sleep. If you're confused, sleep. Things feel different after sleep." And she was right.
Grandmothers always know.
They do.
And you know what? Our listeners might be wondering, how do I talk about my healthy habits in English? And the good news is, it's simple. You can say things like, "I drink water every day. I walk in the morning. I cook healthy meals. I try to relax in the evening."
Yes. And if you want to talk about things you want to do, but don't always do, you can say, "I'm trying to eat more vegetables," or "I want to exercise more often," or "I'm working on getting better sleep."
That phrase, "working on," is powerful. It means you're not perfect, but you're trying. And trying is enough.
Yes, effort is enough. Progress is enough. You don't need to change your whole life in one day. Small habits matter.
Like drinking one extra glass of water, taking a 5-minute walk, eating one piece of fruit. These are small things, but they add up.
And here's something important. Health is personal. What works for one person doesn't work for everyone. For example, some people love running. I do not love running.
I understand. Running is complicated. When I run, I feel like a potato trying to fly.
A potato. That's an image. But see, even if you don't love running, maybe you love swimming or cycling or dancing or even simple stretching.
Exactly. And maybe you don't love broccoli. That's okay. Maybe you love spinach or tomatoes or carrots. There's no rule that says you must love one specific food.
Yes. And I really want our listeners to remember this. Being healthy does not mean being perfect. It means taking care of yourself in small, loving ways.
Yes, loving ways. That's the key word. Love. Health without love becomes punishment. Health with love becomes joy.
And language learning is similar. When you learn English with pressure and fear, it becomes painful. But when you learn with curiosity and patience, it becomes fun.
Exactly. And listening to conversations like this one, slow, natural, warm, is one of the best ways to learn. Because you're not memorizing, you're absorbing.
And you're not alone. You're learning with us.
That's what Fluento is about. Real life, real language, real emotions.
Let's take a moment and imagine our listeners. Maybe someone is listening while washing dishes. Maybe someone is walking in the park. Maybe someone is lying in bed at night. Whoever you are, we're grateful for you.
And we hope your health, physical, emotional, mental, feels a little more supported today.
Before we close, I want to teach one last expression. Take care of yourself. It sounds simple, but it's powerful. It means be kind to yourself, protect your health, respect your needs.
It's one of my favorite expressions, and the world needs more of it.
So, to everyone listening, take care of yourself. Drink some water today, eat something nourishing, move your body a little, rest when you need to, and speak English without fear.
And we would love to hear from you. If you want to practice, tell us in English, what is one healthy thing you do in your life? Do you walk every day? Do you love fruit? What makes you feel healthy?
Your message might inspire someone else.
Anna, as always, this was a beautiful conversation.
And as always, David, your stories and your humor make everything better.
To all our listeners, thank you for spending this time with us. Stay healthy, stay kind, and stay curious.
We love you. Until next time, take care of yourselves.
Bye, everyone.